came across this video on the Twitters there, and I just started. It just brought back, so it brought back memories of certain arguments or how these people just react to you, how they just disregard you, they just dismiss you, and they just regurgitate things from just one side and expect you to just roll with it, and they get all agitated. It's funny. I saw this. I'll tell you right now. What I'm about to present, I don't know who this guy is. I'll add his info when I, after researching him a bit more. I'll add information in the description. But this is why no one wants to listen to anyone on the other side, and this is why I don't play those games. I don't play this left-right thing. I like I said in my walk away video, it's just I said that way after that, actually. I think I said in my part 2 or something, or arguing with leftists. I think that's the one I did. But I was like, at this point, I just understand that the Democrats are evil and the Republicans are just pussies. And because they're pussies, that's why it's easy for rhinos to get away with shit, because rhinos are basically Democrats in disguise. So I'm like, I can't even claim a side. I don't want to. I've always been independent. So, but it's easy to just look in from the outside and be like, oh, this whole group is fucked up. This one, they got some good ideas. These are some legit people. They're trying to do the right thing, but they're not doing anything about the most they do is this. If they have the balls to, this is the most they do. They don't do anything about the ones within to clean house. All right. I'm jumping ahead here because he said something very similar. So let's check this out. Let's have a laugh.
Well, yeah, that's why Trump loves autocrats like Putin and Bolsonaro and all the rest of them. That he's from the Palestine.
And
but this was.
And everything you're saying, that makes a lot of sense. I was just wondering, because you never had the opportunity to live in Georgia. I did. I lived in Georgia for most of my life, but I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. And Atlanta is considered like the Mecca of Georgia. Like, that's the epitome of wealth in Georgia. And I tell you, Atlanta is the only city I've seen where the richest areas are the richest gas stations. You see people getting robbed, mugged, kidnapped, etc. Downtown.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you hear constant shootings downtown and everything, and it's crazy. And I hear you. Well, that how.
I hear you. Do you hear him? Did you hear what he said? Huh?
Probably, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it probably has to do with the pure inequality of wealth that is trying to be cemented in this country.
And I can understand
it's been
that,
going
but I'm
on
black,
for a long time.
You see where she went? Inequality of wealth is inequality. This dude's a black man talking to you about what he sees. You're disregarding him right now. You're disregarding him and his point of view, and from what he's seeing straight up. He's telling you what he's living in, what he comes across. Okay.
I'm black, and I understand that, but I'll tell you, as a black man myself, actually being black and understanding equality and coming from very humble beginnings and doing well for myself now, I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of people choose to do the things they did down there, and I've seen the people that was leadership down there, and I know if the leadership was red, the people that's blue, they would claim that the red people are responsible for it. But since blue has been in charge of Atlanta for so long, and their murder rates are rising, the infrastructure is horrible, the traffic is getting worse. I mean, it is literally like one of the human trafficking hubs. Women out there are afraid of white vans. Children are selling dope. And hip-hop is the culture of the city.
I can believe it.
And it is a severely lacking city, and there's no disparity of wealth, because when you think of rich in Atlanta, I think of a black person. I mean, those are the people in the Lamborghinis. Those are the people in the Rolls Royces. So I don't really see much disparity there. I just see a lot of bad choices. And
Yeah, well,
you know, and that's the thing.
very
That's why
true. I
people
don't actually know about it.
and that's why
Yeah,
people are voting for
because
Herschel Walker right now, because people just want to see a change. They want to take a jump. You know, you say a man that was talking about vampires for 10 minutes straight. This man has a runoff election.
All right, where he's getting to is the reason why I'm doing this video. But you see how she's just disregarding what he's saying. She's like, yeah, well, I understand that. Like, no, acknowledge the fact, lady. Acknowledge the fact that this is a blue run state, right? Acknowledge it, right? These people, you see, they don't. This is how you know they don't care. They're so from people like who he's talking to right now, and to the just people on our level who the voters basically, like the first thing they think of is the color and the letter in front of whatever candidate's name. They're never paying attention to that when it comes to the effects, that's the negative effects that these people have done. When they never admit to it, even though it's true. Like, you look at it, you see who's running this, why it's like this. Maybe a change would help. They will never consider it. That R is evil. Like, maybe let's ignore the letter and focus on who the person is, because that person could be different. It could even be the D in the front of the name, right? And it could be legit. Have you considered that? Have you looked into who that Democrat is? No, you just saw that D and see what color they are and just look at a brief little like bio video and like, oh, okay, they're cool. They can relate. How do you know? That could be just for show. Check it out, yo. Look that up. Yo, match that. Check the school. Check it. No one's doing that. They're just so. This is how they got you, man. And he's trying to get through to her. He's not even trying to get through. He's just spitting on facts that should be obvious. And she's like, well, like this is how you know they don't really care. Like, he's telling her what the deal is, and she's just on and on, just trying to defeat him, just trying to defeat his perspective, just trying to defeat the fact that he so happens to be a black Republican. And watch this, yo.
Against Senator Warnock, because people are tired of the crime. People are tired of not feeling safe.
Yes.
And people are tired of the Democratic Party.
I understand what you're saying, but a large amount of the control of dark money in politics does not. I mean, some comes from Democrats, but the majority of
you say
it
dark money, and this is the thing about
Republicans.
that. And I'll have to interject on that. The dark money thing, you'll say it's dark money because the funders are private, but Democrats are funded by the big pharma.
Pay attention. Dark money also means private donors, right? What do we have a problem with? He's saying it to her. Watch her reaction.
Who created the FDA?
Well,
I mean,
yes,
our food and drugs should never be you're funded. They're funded by, and not even that. They're funded also by weapon merchants. I mean, all this stuff is public knowledge. Democrats are actually funded by actual warmongers. So I'm saying I don't understand if any
warmongers, yo. Warmongers. And she's just gonna let it. she's just gonna let it be, yo. She's just gonna keep continuing. I'm like, well, sir, and not even consider what this man is saying to her, yo. Like, can you admit that, lady? Can you say something different about your candidate or about your party? Can you say, well, we know about that, we're gonna make a change? You're not hearing any of that shit. She's just gonna push, and he's laying down facts about how this party works, what they do, that anybody could look up, and the same people, you're gonna refuse to look it up. I bet. Democrats, whoever's watching this. Fucking copper tops, yo. You're not considering anything, yo. Maybe a change is good. Use that same anti-Trump energy for everyone. Not just the red, not just the right, everyone. You had all the ability, the balls, the drive to dig up what you could, or at least listen to, like, even when the right was making fun of him, you would bring that up in an argument. Right? But you're not going to look up your own, who you're planning to vote for. You're not going to look up the party you're in. You're not going to dig it up. What are you afraid of? They don't own, like, oh, well, they own you. Clearly, because you're not even trying. Okay.
I disagree with that.
I mean, you can disagree, but BlackRock is a real legitimate company. You can search. That's one of y'all major funders. BlackRock exists. I'm sorry. I'm not making this up.
Oh, I do know that. I do know that.
BlackRock is one
do you?
warmongers there.
Okay, I suggest you listen to the podcast.
So you know that you don't see the problem with that? You know that you're not acknowledging that's a problem. You're not gonna give him his due and be like, "Yo, yeah, you're right. You just know that. You're not gonna say, "Yeah, well, we're looking into it. We're trying to make sure we clean that up. That's why we're calling you in the first place." She could even do that. She's such in defense mode of that evil party that, they're not even strategizing. They just think this dude, just because of his color, is one of these BLM fuckers.
Podcast by Rachel Whatnot.
I'll listen to the podcast.
Yeah. There's also a book called Democracy in Chains by a woman named Nancy McLean. It's a classic. This explains how the Republicans took power and made an attempt.
She could pull up everything wrong, everything wrong with Republicans to this guy. She could pull that up. But not acknowledge your shit is worse. your side is worse. This dude said you're being funded by big pharma and weapons companies and shit like that. Warmongering companies. And you want him to dare to just go and listen to a podcast about what Republicans are doing? Who's suffering now? Who's in control now at the time of this video, or what his issue is doing? I think because I believe this is dealing with the whole runoff election between the evil the Democrat and Herschel Walker, right? Let me jump into that real quick. That's the reason I brought up this video, because after the last election and it was announced there's going to be a runoff and stuff, I saw a post on my Facebook saying, like, if anyone votes for this Herschel Walker guy, I don't know what to say to you, blah blah blah. I'm like, so you rather deal with the fuckery you see in your state? Like, you don't want to change? And the most they could do is make fun of him for talking about a vampire story. But did you hear what he meant? Did you hear the analogy he was making with that? Did you? No. It's not my state. I have nothing to do with this, but I'm just saying this is how these people act. They're not focusing on the right thing. They make fun of the way the man talks and the story he made. You're trying to make an analogy, yo. Is that as evil as the shit you do? At least he's God-fearing. I'm not that guy that likes to push for religious people, but at least he has that. Right? Aren't you religious? Aren't a lot of the times you Democrats are like Christians and shit like that, but you like to let a lot of sinful shit fly, right? Then with his situation and his son and shit like that, it's a problem all of a sudden. It wouldn't be a problem if it was on your side. I'm telling you, it wouldn't.
After the decision of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, they've been working on this to gain control.
Yeah, give us a history lesson.
Yeah, and I hear that, and it sounds good, but when I look at all the social medias, and I look at all the medias and major media, I look at all the colleges, universities, all the representation, Netflix, Hulu, none of that stuff is Republican. So I don't understand where the power is if they don't have representation.
It is
Republicans only have Fox News. How is that compared to Facebook, Instagram, CNN, BT, Met Gala.
It's not. It's
I
not.
mean,
It's
hip
not.
hop. If you were in hip hop, you can't even put on a red hat and still be on the boards.
Straight up, yo, you could be talented. Let's not even include Ye in this, yo. Let's not even include him in this. Let's just anyone with skills that dares to wear that red hat, son. Fuck all with your talent. You don't belong. But you'll allow you allow a white rapper who ain't about the orange man or whatever has to do with the R. Oh man, you let him rise quick before a black talent who just so happens to wear the red. You won't, yo, fuck. Oh my God, son, this is a joke. All of you are jokes, son. I don't care who's watching this. I don't care anymore, yo. All of y'all are jokes. You don't think. You're all in your feelings. They got you. They got you. They got you. MK Ultra to the max. They got you. And you won't even try to break free. I dare you to like a Matrix post I make. I dare you, son. I'll straight up call you a copper top. Even if you don't comment. I'll type your fucking name and say copper top, get away. Because this doesn't make sense, yo. The most hypocritical motherfuckers ever are these far leftists, Democrats with 3 Ks. Straight up. All right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I will get their gripes with Republicans. I will get it. Because most of the time they're talking about rhinos. They don't even know what a fucking rhino is. All right? And if they focused on candidates, ignoring the political side they're on and just focus, this will be so much easier. They did this on purpose. The 2-party system was done on purpose. Democrats came out of nowhere just to fuck with the 2-party system, so you won't look at nobody, because it was just Republicans at the time when this whole shit started, so you will be able to focus on who's running. Now you have 2 parties. Now we're only focused on which one do we pick, and you're like, oh, as long as I'll go straight R on the voting list, or I'll go straight D on the voting list when it's time for that. No, how is that adult? I'm hearing like people older than me, or more, even people well versed in politics saying that shit. I'm like, now you just lost me. How are you this and you're doing that? Make this make sense, yo. You guys are jokers, all of you. And if you're a leftist watching this, I'm talking about you. You want to stay there and like straight up get mad at somebody voting R because of something they find that's good about a candidate, and they could tell you, they could give you a long list of what's wrong with your candidate. You can't do the same. You just say, oh, he's a Republican and that party's evil. You can't produce a list like I can, but that's all you got, right? Or you could pick and choose what little things that happen in their personal life to dictate what they can do when they're running shit. That's enough. You can't say what they're doing wrong politically. And on top of that, tell me how that person is as a person, so I can make that determination if they could change or not, have they changed or not, or anything like that. No, you can't do that. That's all it's the same fucking arguments. The same. They just parrot the leftist news or leftist like media and shit like that. Articles and all your celebrity gods. Go fuck yourselves.
Like, you can't even be a Republican and represent yourself. You can't. If you are a celebrity and you claim you're a Republican, you get blackballed. Now, how is that freedom?
Okay, look, it's bigger than just.
Yeah, I'll listen to your podcast if you look at the Candace Show or look at or read the book Blackout.
They won't.
I have no problem at reading
They
your
won't.
content because you watch ours as well. If
She
it's
won't.
mutual, I'll do it. I have no problem in looking at different opinions because I also am very critical of the Republican Party. They're not perfect. They have a lot of flaws. But the thing is, Democrats will never say that about their own party.
Right. They don't. Yo, because they're more big. Like, I understand that the Republican voters are like that too. I even did a video on that where the Republican voters are just as hero worshipping as the Democratic voters. Like, it don't matter. I'm going all red. I get it. And that's a problem for me too, yo. But straight up and down, it ain't as bad because like he said, they at the same time, you'll see them arguing amongst each other. You will see them saying, well, how could you say you're about this but you ain't doing that, amongst each other. The Democrats, they wait till they're in a fucking debate to start doing that shit. And most of the times that shit's for show because they already selected who they wanted. It could be the same for the Republicans, but at least we can see. If people don't believe that part, at least you can see that it's always D versus R. It's never D versus D. It's always D versus R or R versus R. Right? And that's refreshing to know because that kind of forces you to do what was set up in the first place when it was just the R. So it forces you to just look at, okay, who could be right here? Because I like this guy on the right, but this guy on the right just, he just he just aired out some dirty laundry about this one and these old policies. Is he really changed? Is he really doing this? Let me look it up. No, but this happens. But with the Democrats, nobody's doing that, yo. Because the moment you say that, especially if you're not of any party or if you slightly sway to the right or middle, yo, you're either a racist, a coot, or conspiracy theorist or something like that. You're not. No one's gonna give you a chance to fucking talk. The first thing they do is snap at you. The first thing they do, yo, is turn into like they treat you like a child when you're talking to them. But the worst part is, even though they treat you like a child, they start acting like a child. They're the first ones to start bitching about something. They're the first ones to start crying and start yelling and cursing at you, throwing a tantrum. And sometimes you just ask a question or you just throw out some facts. You're not trying to argue anything. You just be like, well, I don't see. You could say something as simple as like, I don't see how you could vote for this person, or if they will, because this happened to me. They posted something about somebody. It's so long ago, but I remember the context of it. And I was like, well, that's not true. Here's the real truth about it, blah, blah, blah. How could you say something about, how could you defend them? I'm like, wait, did you look it up? Did you see what's worse about yours? I didn't even bring that up. I could right now, but I didn't bring that up. But this how you acting? Jesus. This is how they get on, yo. These people are crazy. Crazy. All you leftists are crazy. I don't care how many of you are my friends or were my friends and who happen upon this video. This is a problem that you need to fix, yo, because with what's going on in the world, you're part of that because you're not separating from this government. You're not thinking for yourself at all to make the right decisions, you know, because there are ways that people could just take over. You're not even considering it. That's not even, you can't fathom that, because at that point, that's when you want to call things fiction, right? Jesus.
And that's what disgusts me about it. But I do.
When Republicans say that about their own party, do they? Not, of course.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
All the time.
Even Trump, Trump, so critical of his own party. That's why he's arguing with them. That's why he's fighting with them. Yeah, Republicans.
That's why people liked him. Because he wasn't a politician. Right? That's what set him apart from the rest of them. That's why he's refreshing. Like, you know. Because people got tired of it, especially people on the right. They got tired of it. He's calling out because that's what helped people on the right who would vote right either way to say, okay, we're voting right, but we're voting right for this guy. Because he's calling out the political fuckery on his own side, son. He's ripping them apart as if he was ripping apart a Democrat. Democrats ain't doing that to each other, yo. Not until debate time. I'm telling you.
Talk about themselves way more than you ever see any party. I'll die on that. We fight with each other because we talk about each other.
Maybe they talk to themselves, but they also talk about things which have nothing to do with actual democracy.
Yeah, you can say that, but then why is the news media asking Joe Biden what flavor ice cream he eating? You know what I'm saying?
Say that again, sir.
Democracy. You know, it doesn't.
Sir, this is the party that.
Sir.
I understand all of that. I understand that. I understand those talking points.
Well, that is way over the top. This man wanted to make himself president forever. I'm sorry, that is fascism, and that's why.
Yo, she has all the ammo, yo. She has all the ammo for the other side, yo. But she knows nothing about her own side, apparently. Or she's just being ignorant, like I suspect. Because she say, remember the whole where the funding comes from. I know that. I understand. I know. But stop this whataboutisms, yo. Your shit's worse. Stop it. All right. At least I could say the Republicans will check each other. Y'all can't, and y'all still vote. This is the definition of insanity, son. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. That's not happening. Try something else. Even if it's something you normally disagree with, you might be surprised. You know, I'm already at a point where I'm not even fucking voting at all, right? Because I already know the game. I know the whole setup. I know what the plan is. I know where things are gonna go in the future. I already know that. But for the people who don't know, the people who are into this stuff, like, yo, think. Playing, yo. I'm just calling out your minds. I'm just calling out your minds and the way you think and all this shit. Because you guys are so... You can easily succumb to something off the fucking idiot box. It's insane.
Fascism now is Joe Biden's son getting $1 billion from Ukraine prior to the war and them sending billions back to that country. That's fascist. That's very fascist. I don't agree with us sending all our money down there.
Like he didn't say a word.
And homeless in Atlanta. That's not. You see.
Hung up.
And that's what we get. Don't call a Republican trying to have me vote for no damn Senator Warnock.
Oh man, I remember I used to get texts for these people. I used to troll the shit out of them. I just used to respond, just talking shit about whatever Democratic candidate they're trying to get me to vote for, and I just make fun of them and tell them like, you fucking losing. Just fucking, like, you fucking kidding me, yo? Are you fucking? I'll just rip them apart via text. It's funny, but they couldn't text back anything harsh because you know they get in trouble. So like, okay, thank you for your time. Have a nice day. That's what you get back, because I'm like, I'm letting them know, straight up. Fucking hung up on him, yo. He's a black man. You're supposed to care. You're supposed to get his perspective on things. Maybe you should take notes based on what he said and check your own party. But no, you're probably a part of that. You're about that life. So, you know. Yo, I'm telling you, all of y'all are insane. All you leftists. Liberals are insane. Straight up. Oh my God. This came up in my feed and I was like, yo, you see how they get on? This is what they do. Like, I will just tweet something. They find a way on your shit. They find their way on your shit. They always, oh man, it's a damn shame, yo. It's a damn shame. Nah, I'll save it for another time. I'll make that another video. I was just thinking something that happened recently on Twitter. But I'll put in another video. But yeah, this is just to call out your fuckery, leftists. How you don't really care. You don't. Because a man, especially you black leftists, man of your skin color, of your race, is pointing out facts, and he's about us, just like a lot of these candidates are. You know, sometimes, we have to take that risk. You don't know if they're part of the powers that shouldn't be. But if you're gonna go based on your rhetoric, right, and you see someone on the other side saying things that is of your benefit, why don't you just take the chance with that then? But instead, you go ahead and do the same shit that's not changing for you. You vote for the same person that's doing nothing for you. Did you give this person a chance? You know these people. You know you can kick them out. A lot of you don't know how much power you have. Even Republicans, y'all don't even know how much power you have. So if you fuck up a vote, son, you could do something about it, right? But power to the people, though. You know how much power we have, but we ignore it because they just make us rely on them. They make them, the fact that they're in power, mean they're untouchable. You don't try at all. You don't look up anything at all. What's it gonna take? Trying to cheat and get money? That's what it takes for you to look up how the laws work and shit, right? Not knowing, not even taking a chance of using your own power to stop them. So if you fuck up a vote, like if you vote for somebody you thought was legit and it turns out not to be, you have that power. This is why community is important. That's why we don't need this fucking separation. Fuck the fact that that person next door voted for the other person, You mad too? I know I voted him. I know I voted him in, but can you help me undo my mistake? You were right. You can't even do that. I'm telling you. And the thing about leftists, I learned this. I learned this saying from Owen Benjamin, The thing about these people is that, you stay there and keep watching their balls, and think you're gonna benefit just because your celebrity hero voted for them or likes them or says good things about them or endorse them and shit like that. So you feel like you're part of the team because your friends are into them and this, that, and the other, and everybody else, instead of you checking on your own, right? Instead of doing all that. So you think you're safe. So if shit goes down, you think they got your back. No, the only benefit is they're going to thank you by eating you last. That's the only benefit you get if you let these people run shit. Well, anyway, that's it for the video. So make sure you like. Let's beat those algorithms, please. Share, subscribe, comment below your thoughts. Don't be an asshole. And sign up for my Patreon for the price of pie. For my uncensored videos and my extra links and notes and things of that nature. I'm always going to add like shit that cannot be, and now I have they cannot be that are heavily censored here on YouTube, of course, because we know who's running that shit. Yay. I gotta talk about that someday. But I'm on a Rumble, so make sure you click those links and subscribe to my Rumble channel, because if it ain't too hot for YouTube, it will be on Rumble. That'll be my primary from now on when it comes to uploads. So, but if it's too hot for both, that's where the Patreon comes in. And just sign up for Patreon to support me, so I can keep doing this, so I can upgrade and keep, so we can win this fight together, son, straight up, because this is fun. I love being part of this shit. And what else is there? Anything new? No, that's it, So keep your eyes open. Don't let these people fool you. Don't let these people get into your heads, and keep in mind how these people react to you and be like, you're safe, you didn't do anything wrong, straight up. All right. So cheers.